This is Front Row Dave here with Nech in Manhattan
at
the Led Zeppelin Celebration Day press screening. How was it, man? What did you think of the movie first?
First of all, the movie's great. It exceeded my expectations for sure, but that's coming from somebody that's expecting more. But definitely perfectly conveys what went on that evening, and the best part of it is just shows how much fun they had doing it all. It was put together very well, minimal cuts or editing of any sort. Hard to spot probably by even the hardcore Zepp aficionados.
Out of all the questions at the press conference, what did you think was the best question and response?
Actually, that's a pretty tough one to answer because my brain's a bit of a whirl. A good one that was answered, that was questioned them, is what was the first album that they bought? And what's the last album that they bought, kind of trying to pick their minds as to what they're most into nowadays. I can't quite remember the first ones. Jason had a funny answer to that one, but Paige said that just the other day down in the village he picked up Ray Charles, his backup band. I think they were called the Ravenettes, and that's the last one that he said he picked up. And Plant once again professed how much he's really into Mumford and Sons lately.
That was the best question. What about the worst or just stupidest question at the press conference?
By far the stupidest questions was questions once again about them reuniting and carrying forward whatever momentum was generated by this. And
that momentum was 5 years ago.
And that's pretty much what Jimmy Page answered. He says 5 years have gone by, obviously, it ain't happening, ain't gonna. And it was followed up by, Plant actually called the guy a schmuck, and it was followed up by a guy saying, as a follow-up to Schmuck's question, I need to ask you why won't you answer that question, at which point it clammed up the guys completely, and they didn't even say a word to that, and they actually brought about heckling from the crowd that was there to say, stop asking that question, it's been answered a million times before.
That's at the press conference today. Were all 4 members of the band in attendance? And if they were, how did they look today?
Yeah, all 4 of them were there if you want to consider Jason part of Led Zeppelin, but for that one night, yeah, he was. Yeah, they were all there. Jason actually looked a bit haggard. I think it might be because he's smack in the middle of his Led Zeppelin experience. Plant looked great this time, definitely not as stiff as London. Page, he's the Baron of Badass, man. He looked awesome, his typical outfit. And Jones, same thing, his dry humor, always present. He probably got like some of the best laughs out of the gang there. There's some good laughs along with the obvious tense moments when people were asking the stupid questions.
The question came up of which songs were chosen for the concert itself.
Yes, it did.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, that was actually probably on par with like the best question of the night that was asked. They were each asked what song that they particularly brought to the table as wanting to play at the concert, and it was Plant himself that said that he was the one that decided first on For Your Life, and unanimously Jones, Jason, Jimmy included, they all agreed yes, that's the one song that they definitely want to do, and Jimmy of course also said Kashmir had to be there. And if you watch Kashmir during the movie and you see Jimmy's face towards the end, all smiles, they pulled it off. It was a killer. But yeah, For Your Life was the one song that they all agreed upon. This is the one that we got to do.